he was pressured into that somehow.
This perfect
And-
storm. The debate
Hold
is
on, Lynn.
around climate change.
You know what it's time for.
I am the god of hellfire, and I bring you.
Lynn Ertell, all the way from Baltimore, Maryland. Hello, Lynn.
I can't hear it. Turn it up. I can't hear it. Turn it up. 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 I can't hear it. Turn it up. I can't hear it.
I will.
Turn it up. Turn it up. Turn it up. When I pick a song, it's about a subject that I'm addressing.
Benton says Lynn for president. Are you running?
Presidents are stooges. The president is the crisis actor in chief. I'd rather be like Stalin, like a commissar. You know? Stalin. I'd rather have real power. You know? Don't even take me there. You know, Brian called me up, Brian from Brian and Jenna.
All right, Biochar Brian.
Brian and Jenna wanted me to mention the fact that we've got a lot of Trojan horses and stalking horses and shills in the conspiratainment world that are pushing memes directly from communitarian law. And one of these is the phrase, the intentional community. Turn it up, turn it up, I can't hear it.
I heard that.
Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up.
I heard that.
Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up, I can't hear it.
I heard that.
Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up.
I heard that.
And I'm over-blaming groups like Catholics, the Jews, the Jesuits. I name the individuals who have committed crimes for which they ought to be arrested and convicted and turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. Subject to some pretty severe punishment. Things like racketeering and treason, not just fraud. I'd rather be like Stalin, like a commissar, you know? I'd rather have real power, you know? Don't even take me there. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. I can't hear it.
I heard that.
Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up.
I heard that.
Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. I can't hear it.
I heard that.
Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up.
I heard that.
But I'm not talking about Jews, Jesuits, Catholics, blacks, whites. I'm pointing to shills.
So who do you want to know if it was they were just?
I don't care if they were or not. Guys, come over to FAK1178. If it's good, you're gonna find it on FAK1178. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. And we don't have ads on FAK1178. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up.
No, there's no ads yet.
Right. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. I can't hear it. Guys, come over to FAK1178. FAK1178.
All right, hello everybody. It's Tuesday, December the 9th, 2025. The Fakeologist show here. Lynn, I don't know if that's you laughing or the recording laughing.
It's both.
That tickles me every time.
Yeah.
Is that song ever going to get old?
It captures a moment in time, you know? But it does summarize my views by and large.
Yeah, it's pretty much everything. Hey, you might hear an echo because apparently when I open FakeOTube Live up to get the chat going, you can hear the echo. So I don't know how to stop that. So
yeah, it's all right.
You say you hear it every time. I can't.
Well, usually it goes on longer, but this time it was real quick. It was like 1 second. So, you know.
Okay, yeah, I can't hear the sound, but I don't know why it transmits, but okay.
I'm using the Brave browser tonight.
Okay.
I'm hoping we don't experience. You seem to think last week I had internet connection issues, but we'll see what happens.
I thought so. Well, it's hard to tell, but I can't use the Brave browser with Restream. It doesn't work. So I don't know. You're able to use it. That's good.
I'm using it right now, but if it goes wrong, we'll move to another browser. So, you know.
Yeah. Well, Portal Complex Studio is in the house. He called me last night after the John the Beggar a fill-in show for Tim.
I listened to all that. Yeah.
Oh, great. Well, Portal Complex said he'd do an intro video or audio for John the Beggar. So I
Yeah,
have that.
John the Beggar is really, he's part of the scene here. So yeah, that would be very appropriate, I think.
Yeah, and Portal Complex just said he could do an extra audio for you. I said, "Wow, Lynn is just getting all the attention or something."
Yeah, becoming a culture.
You're a cult hit.
Yeah.
Cult hit among the peeps here. So I'll if John the Beggar chooses to call in tonight, I will endeavor to play his intro song if I can find it. But thank you, Portal Complex, giving some value for value to the show. That's awesome. So I have to find it now. So while you're talking, I'm going to find it because I put it somewhere where I wouldn't lose it, and now I can't find it.
Well,
computers are so difficult. Okay, you're
Yeah.
going to talk about Luigi Mangione. He
well,
allegedly assassinated the president of United Health, the largest private. Well, I guess they're all private.
I have my
Mhm.
supplemental. I'm on Medicare because I'm 75 years old.
Right, you get
Medicare.
that at 65, right?
Well, yeah, I don't think they're. When I went on it, you had to be 65. I don't know if they've raised that or not. They might, because
I think you're okay.
okay, but
I don't think they'd have. But
well,
we can
not me. They're not going to change it. What I'm
No,
saying
for
is,
future people. I
yeah,
don't.
because they change like when you're eligible to start Social Security. It used to be like 62, and now I think it's 65. But I had this discussion with somebody in my family, and because immediately after going on Medicare, I was told, "Oh, you got to buy supplemental insurance." I said, "What do you mean?" I thought the idea behind Medicare was that was it. You're retired. You don't have.
It's for all the co-pays.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It turns out, just to give you an example,
Mhm.
Hopkins Bayview. I don't know. They're trying to get me on statins, and I won't do statins.
They want everyone on statins.
Right. But they said, hey, we want to do a heart scan, what they call it's an MRI. I think it might be the same thing that Trump got. Trump, by the way, have you followed the controversy over Trump insulting the intelligence of everybody who's ever had to pay a medical bill?
No, I don't listen to Trump. I only hear about Trump through my normie podcast because they're obsessed with Trump. Like,
Yeah.
how is that I am a bit of a Trump fan, mainly because he's a disruptor. That's if he it doesn't really matter.
Well, what you mean by that is he's accelerationist. That is to say,
Yeah.
if you see the Democrats and the Republican, the right and the left following parallel tracks
Yeah.
toward the same goal, which is a total globally administered police state, high-tech police state,
Yeah.
Palantir-style police state.
Yeah. Palantir. Yeah.
The question is, they're just who can move faster? And more often than not, it's Trump is a real accelerationist. I say that because a President Hillary could never have pulled off the
Well,
COVID.
I know. I've heard that so many times. Who knows?
Well, it's true. It's true. None of the MAGA people would have gone along with it. They would have said, "We're not taking this shot. We're not locking down."
I know.
Only Donald Trump.
I've heard
Only Donald Trump declaring a state of national emergency.
Yeah, that gets all the right-wing guys on board, but not all the right-wing guys were on board with Trump.
He's really got a great analysis of this is a right-wing guy. I don't know if he's right-wing. He's a Christian evangelical.
Who's that?
Named Pastor Chuck Baldwin.
Yeah.
Heads a mega church up there in Montana, I guess, and has run for president several times as the third party candidate of the Constitution Party. And in the very, very beginning, even when he showed how Trump used state of emergency declarations and executive orders to tie people up in knots over that border wall issue, instead of simply having Congress appropriating the money, and the whole issue would have been dead. And he showed how Trump uses executive orders and declaring states of emergency to do things that the Republican majority will not legislate. Therefore, as soon as the Democrats come in, they can reverse it all. And that is exactly what happened in 2020. So Trump set up the whole COVID thing. As far back as 2017, 2018, he had Bill Gates at the White House. They were passing the legislation. I don't want to go. Trump is the author of the COVID. He is the vaxxer in chief.
Okay.
And therefore, I call him. No one else could have gotten the whole country to go along. You understand?
Okay.
Hillary might have gotten Democrats and leftists and progressives to go along with a state of national emergency, but no right-winger would have rolled up their sleeve for Hillary Clinton. And in fact, Kamala Harris, Chuck Schumer, all of them said, I will never trust a vaccine from Donald Trump's warp speed. And they only changed their tune after Biden allegedly won that election. You know what gets me about this? I feel like you're forgetting, you're losing the whole sequence of events that led to that massive COVID psyop.
I am.
And nothing has accelerated us towards a global total surveillance police state or communitarian law faster or more thoroughly than that COVID psyop. And I contend once again, they put Trump in there rather than Hillary because they knew that was the only way they could get everybody on board with it. And Trump appointed Fauci. Trump set up that special Corona task force. Trump called the press conferences with Pompeo, and they let it slip out that it was an exercise. This is a live exercise, Pompeo said. Trump is so accelerationist in my view. You can say, well, the Democrats and the progressives they're the ones that are pushing critical race theory and trans Maoism and all the, yeah, that's on paper. That's with their words and their performances. But only a Donald Trump could rope in all these stupid MAGA flag wavers and get them on board. So to me, Trump he's a pivotal player on the world stage here. And in fact, I consider him to be much, much more accelerationist than anybody else. And that's his role. That's his role. So how do we get into that? Oh, you've always argued that, well, Trump had no choice. He was cornered. They panicked people. And no, I don't buy that.
Yeah.
I don't
Actually, I forgot what I was going to say. I just was saying that what I was trying to get at is the people that talk about Trump the most are the ones that hate him. I personally am not I don't have a hate or a love for the guy, just like him.
This guy,
which is also,
he's in on 9/11. Big time. He's a major.
I agree. He's been an actor on the world stage for a long time, since the 80s, at least. That's right. When he was introduced to the world, wasn't it? The 80s? Sometime in there?
Yeah, he's been around since then. He was a protege of Roy Cohn, a really despicable character.
Yeah.
We have a whole thread on Trump in the forum, his entire history, and especially his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. That's in there as well. And not so much Epstein as Ghislaine Maxwell, who, when she was arrested, he was asked, he said, I wish her well.
Yeah.
You could watch that video. So there's so much that, to me, Donald Trump, we could put on trial tomorrow for treason, really. But then again, if we were really being objective about it, we could put Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, we could put them all on trial. We've got the evidence. We've got the evidence. But the evidence on Luigi Mangione is an entirely different matter because it's tainted evidence. Because allegedly, I'll summarize the case.
Yeah, let's go through it. You've got this on the Fakeologist forums, fakeologistforums.com.
Right. He was in court, I don't know, today or yesterday.
He was in, some side. Okay.
Right. For his arraignment.
He's looking a little like Rob Lowe when he was younger. A little Rob Lowe.
I have to say, the Mangione family is very well known here in Maryland.
Okay.
Nino Mangione, who is
that's his family?
Yeah, it's a close relative, is in the Maryland state legislature.
Okay.
And is running for office again in 26. I'm not sure if he's running for the state senate or he could run for governor. He's that well known. They pretty much own the Hilton hotel, a major Hilton hotel. In
So they're in the system. Interesting. It reminds me of the Bin Laden
yeah,
family.
kind of. They're very prominently featured. That's true. But they haven't talked about this at all. But Luigi himself was the class valedictorian at the Gilman School. The Gilman School, it's up there with Andover and St. Paul's, and it's an elite school for young men, and preparatory for Harvard, Yale, whatever. And everybody knew Luigi because he was brilliant and also an athlete. And I imagine, kind of he's kind of good-looking Italian guy, So, it's not like he's some shadowy figure. This is not a fictitious character. This is somebody a lot of people know. And I say, you kind of cut me off when I was talking about United Healthcare. Luigi is, of course, accused of gunning down, shooting in the back, Brian Thompson, a United Healthcare executive on the streets of New York City, right under the cameras where everybody could see. I have my, through the AARP, I have my supplemental insurance. Just to go back on supplemental again, I was told, I'm telling you right now, if you're at the retirement age and you think Medicare is going to take care of you, it's not. It's not. And close relatives of mine said, if you come down with cancer, Medicare won't cover this particular treatment or that. Medicare, I said, well, Medicare is a hoax. They said, no, it's a sham. Medicare is not a hoax. It's a sham. And
well, how is it a sham?
Because it presents just enough of the pretense of socialized medicine that you think you're covered. And you find out, for example, I was told to get a heart scan, which is an MRI.
And you had to pay for that?
It turned out to be $200. When I went there to get it, I assumed that Medicare would, first of all, it was prescribed for me by the doctors at Johns Hopkins Bayview. I mean, this is a big, prestigious institution. And I'll bet they assumed it was paid for. The procedure that I got, the MRI, which is, it scans your heart looking for what they call plaque. There's, right.
Oh, you have to brush your heart because you got plaque on it?
Well,
no.
In effect, it's the only way to detect plaque in the heart. Now,
I'm just kidding. You're supposed to have plaque on your teeth.
Word got out that for his last physical or for a recent physical, the doctors ordered President Trump to get one of these MRIs. Naturally, at a press conference, someone asked him about it. And they asked him, what was it for? Because an MRI is always focused on a particular problem. Did they MRI his ankles that tend to swell up? Did they MRI his head, which is where they scan the brain? Did they MRI his heart? Well, I got a standard heart scan. And when I went in to get it, I didn't even think twice about the insurance. I said, I'm pretty sure either Medicare or my supplemental through United Healthcare will pay for.
It's going to cover it.
Yeah, because because it's standard for somebody at my age. And I said, how much is it anyway? Because I should have said, hey, well, I'm going to wait until you verify insurance coverage. And they said it's $251. I said, well, I can afford that if they don't cover it up. But I was sure that, nope. And I posted online in the forum and on Facebook the statement that United Healthcare sent back to me saying simply they didn't cover an MRI for a heart scan. So anyway, at a press conference, someone asked Trump, what was it for? Well, we've had reports that your doctors ordered an MRI. What was it for? And I wouldn't be surprised if he got the same MRI I got. And Trump said, oh, it's just a routine procedure. And he wouldn't answer what it was for. He said, it's just a routine procedure. They always order it. It's standard for somebody my age. And he was evasive about it. And people said, yeah, when doctors order an MRI, it's for a specific reason and a specific purpose. And Trump claimed, he said, oh, I don't know. I have no idea. It's just a standard thing they do, which is a lie, a bald-faced lie, and an insult to the intelligence of everybody. And then he became downright truculent about it when they pursued it. When they said, well, what do you mean? What was it for? He said, every checkup. He said, it's standard for a physical exam of someone my age. You don't need, it's just, they always do it. Well, they don't, either they don't always do it, or they always do it, but United Healthcare won't pay for it. So several things are revealed here. One, Medicare is a sham. Two, supplemental health care is equally a sham. Three, United Healthcare are a bunch of greedy, selfish bastards that refused to pay for my heart scan that the doctor ordered. I didn't want it. I didn't think of it. They thought of it. And Donald Trump is a liar. Do you think that he doesn't know? He said, oh, it's just a routine MRI. I have no idea what it was for or why, and they always do it. That's a effing lie. And he's insulting the intelligence of anybody who's even familiar with an MRI for him to say that. Because an MRI it's an extra thing. It's reasonably expensive, and it's usually done for a certain reason. Now, we're told that Luigi Mangione suffered from back injury, from a skiing accident or something like that. Big guy, athletic guy. But now we're being told that it's because his mother was suffering, and somehow or other he blamed United Healthcare. Well, I got to tell you, the Mangione family owns a chain of assisted living facilities. They constantly advertise it on the radio and on television. Something Care, Total Care, I forget what the name of it is. Constant Care, whatever. It's a chain. It's a chain of nursing homes. So his family, the last thing in the world that Luigi Mangione's family would be worried about, personally, for any of them, would be the cost of a medical procedure. Really. So that's implausible. Now, I'll just give you the overview of the case against him.
Okay. I've got the Miles Mathis case up, or puff piece on, where he's talking about Sam Bankman-Fried. This is from March.
Yeah.
And apparently they're all in the same,
and special to fake news Phil, because Fake News Phil did a video on this. I don't know if I posted it in the forum or not, but in which he recently, within the last few days, he's deconstructing also this narrative. But just a reminder to Fake News Phil that the Mangiones are emphatically not Jewish. They are Italian Catholic, not Jewish.
Oh,
Fake News Phil. Just a reminder of
that. That was the point I was going to make. I'm not obsessed with Trump, but the people that hate him are obsessed with Trump. Just like I'm not obsessed with Jews, but the people that allegedly hate the Jews are obsessed with them. Well, they deserve
a fair hearing.
I know, but why are they obsessed with them? That's what I wanted to bring up about Jim, and isn't that odd that the people that hate them the most?
Well, we can examine the case of Jim Rizzoli, who.
So they talk about them the most.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It's
not to me. If I don't like something, I don't talk about it day in and day out until
people accuse the German National Socialists of being obsessed with. They accused Hitler and especially Himmler and Reinhard Heydrich of being obsessed with Jews. Goering less so, because Goering was named after a Jew, and his wife had many Jewish friends because she was active in the theater and the movie. She got all kinds of her Jewish friends out of Germany. Actually, she was so effective at this that Himmler, who really did have an obsession about Jews, he went to Hitler to complain that Goering was interfering. And Himmler was especially upset because the top design engineer at the Luftwaffe, which Goering was running. Goering had been a heroic, allegedly, one of these flying aces in World War I and one of the first of the great aviators. Although later, they kind of kicked him out. And it is interesting that even though he was a veteran of the dogfights of World War I, the association of like the Red Baron, von Richthofen, that whole crowd of aviators, pioneer aviators, they struck him from their membership list and would not invite him to any of their events. So he must have alienated them one way or another. Goering's very interesting. I've read 2 biographies of him. He's a very interesting character. And a lot of, and especially his relationship to Jews, to German Jews, very interesting and very complex, very nuanced. In any case, when you talk about obsession with this or that group, it's really a question of to what extent does it distort your judgment. See, that's the problem. We don't want people fixated on Jewishness to such an extent that they don't see what's going on or how it's being used against them. So,
Yeah, I call it the Jew. I think it's a psyop.
Himmler would have had.
Wait, do you think it's a psyop in any way?
Well, everything's is racism a psyop? Was
Well, yeah.
Black Power a psyop?
Yes. So, but this Jewish thing is a psyop from so many.
Well,
it goes a long way back.
And it has to do with the role of prominent wealthy Jews like the Rothschilds or the Lopez family of Rhode Island, who were some of the biggest slave traders in colonial America. I mean, it has to do with a lot of these wealthy Jewish families who have a disproportionate presence in things like banking, Wall Street,
Do they really?
law and everything else.
Okay.
Anyway, just to review, I think Mangione might have a Jewish lawyer. We should.
Well, that's what they were saying here in these this Puff piece or this Miles Mathis piece.
Yeah.
I think he was saying,
Well,
by a strange coincidence, the attorneys for Puffy Combs and Mangione are husband and wife. Really? Just a coincidence?
Well, just a reminder.
Isn't it just because they are a CIA vaudeville team like Stiller and Mira or something? So there you go. That's down here.
I was going to make a point about that. By a strange coincidence. What were you talking about just now? I'm sorry.
We were just talking about the lawyers for Mangione.
Right. The prosecutor of Sean Combs was Comey's daughter. Comey, the former FBI head that the Trump administration has tried to indict for perjury and other offenses. His daughter ran the prosecution case against Sean Puffy Combs, which most people said was run so badly that the prosecution deliberately bungled the case, since Sean Combs basically got off for the most part, right? Got off on the worst charges of trafficking. As they would say, well, he only trafficked to himself. That's what Kash Patel told us about Jeffrey Epstein. Well, yeah, he only trafficked to himself. No network here. No racketeering here. Nothing to see here, folks. Move right along now. Which we know is bullshit. But, Comey's daughter managed that prosecution as well. So, you see, you're right. You see a lot of these same lawyers entering into this case. But let's review the details. Let's review the details of the alleged case against Luigi Mangione.
Do you want to take a call first or wait?
Well, let me go through this first. This will be quick. Okay.
Okay, call her in or you're going to have to wait.
Luigi Mangione was arrested 5 days after the alleged murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The murder occurred on December 4th, 2024 in New York City.
Are you reading this off the screen? All I see is the video on the screen.
Yeah, you want me to? I don't think I have this.
I'll just read it then. That's okay. I thought you wanted us to follow along. Go ahead.
Mangione was arrested on December 9th, 5 days later, at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. And were allegedly told that somebody in the McDonald's called, tipped off the
turned him in.
Yeah, which I don't believe at all.
He was watching America's Most Unwanted.
Upon his arrest, and subsequent search of his backpack at the police station, officers recovered significant evidence linking him to the crime. Now understand, here he is walking around 5 days later, and here's what they found in his backpack, which, by the way, they had no warrant to search. 1, a 9mm handgun and silencer, which ballistics matched to the shell casings found at the murder scene. A handwritten red notebook containing what prosecutors have called a manifesto. There we go. We get the manifesto again. Of journal.
So boring, these stories, huh? Always with the
manifesto or journal entries.
And wait, and he had a red book, just like the No Agenda show?
It says a red notebook.
The red book.
Or journal entries expressing disdain for health insurance companies.
Is the red book part of the craft?
And in this red notebook, it has his plans to whack a CEO. Like he used the word whack. A fake New Jersey driver's license with the name Mark Rosario, which he allegedly used to check into a Manhattan hotel before the shooting. A to-do list with entries such as change hat, shoes, pluck eyebrows, suggesting an effort to change his appearance after the crime. Multiple USB drives and several $1,000s in various currencies. Mangione's defense team has challenged the legality of the search of his backpack, arguing that the evidence should be suppressed because the initial search at the McDonald's was warrantless. They had no warrant, so they violated his Fourth Amendment rights.
Can I interrupt?
Go ahead.
The idea of the red book, because when I hear these stories, these are stories.
Scripts. They're scripts. They're scripts.
I know they're scripts, they're stories, but they're written by some of the top script writers, authors. And so they don't just put the word red book in there by mistake.
No, of course not. But
so there's something
they overdo it. Look what they did with the Tyler Robinson.
I know, but why? What is the significance of the red book? So I just went into the bot. You know, I love bots. And it says here, the phrase red book carries very different layers of significance depending on which one is being referenced. Here are the main ones and what the phrase itself has come to symbolize. Significant. So Young's Red Book, Liber Novus. The Red Book is a cultural phrase. Significance, it has become shorthand for a profound private descent into the unconscious and the birth of modern depth psychology. When people say the Red Book in psychological, artistic, or spiritual circles today, 90% of the time they mean Young's. It symbolizes the dangerous but necessary confrontation with one's own shadow and the collective unconscious. The idea that true psychological or spiritual breakthrough often looks like madness from the outside, a sacred, almost biblical artifact of 20th century mysticism. People literally speak of it in quasi-religious terms, the holy grail of the unconscious. Anyway, so maybe that's why they've inserted that into the narrative. That's all.
I mean, it's more of the symbolic crap.
They do stuff like that.
Yeah. And for me, people are going to say, well, this guy Luigi's obviously an actor and he's in on it. Well, I don't know. Maybe they framed him. I don't know. I've posted a link to
every one of these shooters with these mysterious stories are always some bullet casing enthusiast. Like the same tactics they're using, Jimmy, right?
Clown.
Right. You can watch that.
Hi, welcome.
Y'all can watch that later if you want, unless you want to listen to it.
But who is that clown talking? That black guy?
Why do you call him a clown?
Because he's lisping. He sounds like a...
Back, we got special guests with us. Nick Cruz, citizen journalist, geopolitical analyst, co-founder of the Revolutionary Blackout Network. Okay. He's here back with us. Please welcome back.
Listen, I liked what he had to say. You're calling him out as a clown. Now I'm going to play him. I wasn't going to, but I am now.
To the show, Nick Cruz. Hey, Nick, how are you?
Hey, what's poppin', Jimmy? Always great to be here.
Well, what's happening is I saw your video. So Hotspot put out a video of you talking about Luigi Mangione, and it says he's not guilty. What the corporatist media is not telling you about the Luigi Mangione case. Let's listen.
Luigi Mangione is back in court today as his attorneys drop a complete bombshell, demanding that the court throw away obviously tamper-with evidence. Luigi Mangione is accused of killing the CEO of United Healthcare, Brian Thompson, But nothing about this story adds up. Remember Luigi Maggioni's backpack, which very conveniently for the prosecution had the murder weapon in it? And a manifesto where Luigi Maggioni confessed his crimes? Yeah, the police illegally searched that bag without a warrant mysteriously after Luigi Maggioni was arrested. That is apparently where the police found Luigi Maggioni's manifesto, where he confessed to his crimes.
All right, so I'm not going to make you listen to the whole thing, but here's,
Oh my
here's the
God.
bottom line. And I really appreciate this guy. His name is Blackout Revolutionary Blackout News. Is that what it's called? Well,
I
he's
don't
asking
know.
all the right questions. He's asking all, and so is Jimmy Dore. They're asking all the right questions here.
Okay.
Now,
Even gave a motive. And
it's just, it's what you call an orgy of evidence. You ever heard that phrase, an orgy of evidence?
Of
Right.
course.
The cops are investigating a crime, and they just see this like Oswald leaving the rifle behind in the school book depository, that they held up, and look at, who would do that? That's stupid. I want to remind you that Luigi Mangione was arrested and his backpack searched 5 days after the event. They expect you to believe that he kept the weapon, which is, this guy's a class valedictorian at the Gilman School. He would have had to be dumber than mud, not only to keep the weapon, to keep the manifesto, to keep all this incriminating material, including that red book you're talking about, in his backpack as he walked around 5 days later. Let me ask you something. If you had committed an act like this,
No, it'd be buried 6
oh my
feet
God, it'd
deep.
be thrown in the ocean.
Yeah, in the Baltimore Harbor. Hey, do you want to take a caller from your favorite
Question
fan?
before I take that call. The decision
All
is
right.
yours, people. Was the evidence planted? Because they arrested him right in front of all these McDonald's employees, and then they opened up his backpack without a warrant, which by the way, he objected to. He did not consent to the search. So his lawyers are saying it was a non-consensual, warrantless search. All this evidence violated his Fourth Amendment rights. It's got to be thrown out. See? What they
Yeah. Paulie Galtieri didn't like that guy either. He's obnoxious. But okay.
I don't know what you have against that guy. I really don't.
He's just annoying. Okay, here.
He's
I missed
annoying
the
because
call.
he's black or because he's fat? Which?
Because he's just he sounds
Okay, yeah,
annoying.
fine.
He talks.
So
annoying,
his content,
he's
so the
got that-
content of what he's saying doesn't matter. You're not listening to it anyway.
I am listening,
no,
but it's
no,
just
I
the
don't-
official story.
9 minutes, 39 seconds.
All right, who's calling? Where are you calling from?
Brian in Washington.
Brian, hello.
I sent you an email, Tim, and usually you're really good about replying. I'll be patient. I know that Lynn does a lot of show prep every week, so I want her to get back to her time. But you asked the question, why this religion and race over there in Palestine keeps being on everybody's concern list. So if you had an hour, this came out today on YouTube, Israel's Zionist self-destruction.
Okay.
Israel has an apostrophe S, and self-destruction has a hyphen. Unfortunately, Jeremy Sachs is the United States representative on this 3-part. And of course, Jeffrey is advocating for not 17 sustainable development goals, but a whole bunch
Jeffrey
more.
who?
He's
Jeffrey who?
Jeffrey
Okay.
Sachs.
Is it-
He's
okay.
a professor.
We know who Sachs is. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, you asked the question, and Lynn tried to say, well, look at history, and you might know. Well, here's a chance for several hundred years of history that some Jewish people would love to share with you. So, did you pull it up, Tim?
Where is it? I don't have it.
I said it's on YouTube. you're going to have to search for it.
I know,
Israel's Zionist self-destruction.
okay.
And then I can let Lynn get back to her show.
I'll look it up. Israel's Zionist. I never got the email that I can see. Zionist
No problem.
self-destruction. Well, you're right. I'm not really interested in it, but maybe Lynn would like to comment on it because she's good
Yeah,
at
I mean,
that.
basically, it reminds me of a video I saw of a
Welcome everybody. Today we are holding.
Is it this one
a
here?
Hollywood personality named Mandy Patinkin.
Is it this one with Jeffrey Sachs, Manuel Ramos, Pascal Lataz, and Yakov Rabkin?
Jeffrey Sachs is a
Yep,
banker. He has a background as a banker. That's all. And he's been critical.
All right.
He's very critical of our policy against Russia. And he's sort of, you know, he's playing the role of like a Tucker Carlson or something, you know, like I'm really not on their side.
He plays the role that wants to know why people don't sit down and negotiate and have dialogue instead of this Trump nonsense. And you can add every other president that I can think of. We are being played. That's why for more information on this, it says Euro-American Zionism, Jewish and Christian, has killed millions.
Has it?
Trying to answer your
Wait,
question.
wait, has it
Tim.
killed millions? Which millions?
Take it easy, Brian. Calm down.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're
he's
getting
still
all
kind of
worked up.
emotional, Brian.
Yeah, you're getting emotional
Yeah,
about this.
there's a whole lot of Jewish people that never wanted anything to do with this British American plan
I agree
to
with that.
take over the Suez Canal, and now we stepped in the great big pile of. And what are we going to do about it?
You know, it's no news.
I don't have
It's
any.
no news to anyone here that people like Netanyahu and Ehud Barak, the Zionists that run Israel, they hold the diaspora hostage. When the Charlie Hebdo event and the Bataclan Theater event were staged in France, my God, this is almost 10 years ago now.
Right, yeah. Je suis Charlie.
Yeah, right, we are Charlie, or I am Charlie, whatever.
We're all Charlie now. Charlie Kirk now.
And Netanyahu flew right away to France and went on a speaking tour telling France has a substantial Jewish population. He went on a speaking tour every town and city in France, speaking to Jews, telling them that now was the time to get out of France and come to Israel because there was going to be an explosion of Islamically motivated, radical Islam motivating anti-Jewish, anti-Semitism, whatever, in France. And I make this clear over and over again. The Zionists in Israel are facing a demographic crisis because the only Jews in Israel who are reproducing are the super Orthodox who don't serve in the military and the Mizrahi Jews. The term Mizrahi refers to Jews from the Orient, from the Middle East, from North Africa, non-European Jews. They're the only ones having large families. Whereas,
yeah, sounds right. I get it. Sounds like the Amish. They're the Amish of Israel.
Right, exactly. But the Palestinian Arabs, they have very high birth rates. And so within a generation or two, these Ashkenazi Jews that run Israel, the Zionists, they'd be completely overwhelmed.
Yeah, population-wise, yeah. I can see that, yeah. And it's a numbers game.
Absolutely. A sine qua non of the state of Israel is that all Jews need to go there to buttress their demographic, to solve their demographic crisis. And this fits right in with the doctrine of Christian Zionism, that in order to fulfill the prophecy in the book of Revelations, all the Jews have to be returned to, to their place of origin, the Holy Land, in preparation for the return of Jesus, or the Jews would have their Messiah coming back. We all know all this stuff. I don't need to go through it.
Brian, I'm going to listen to this
But
video.
Brian, it
Lynn,
means that the Israeli government and the elites within Israeli society, they absolutely want to force Jews in Europe and the United States and Australia to migrate to Israel. That's what they want. And so naturally, so in a sense, they are taking Jews all over the world hostage and saying, you're either with us or against us. You have to support.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
you have to
agree with
support
that.
everything.
They've been doing it since World War
Right,
II.
exactly. It's the way the state of Israel was
The
founded.
Jews didn't want to go to a place in the desert.
Right.
Nobody wanted to go. Why would you want to give up your
Right.
life?
All of what you're saying is mentioned in the hour. I'm suggesting, just like John LeBon said, where else are you going to get something like this Fakeologist broadcast? Why don't you get a half dozen of your best regular guests,
Yeah.
and go through this hour clip, 1 minute, something to say on this? Any comments from the panel? We should be doing this.
Okay.
It needs to be done. So that's my suggestion.
I would just let Lynn break it down. She's more interesting about this topic because of her background, of course. Right,
Yeah.
Lynn?
Well, like it says in the chat, Jim, call in and yell at Lynn. No, we need dialogue and discussion like intelligent human beings. So I'm going to leave it at that.
All right, Brian, you're all worked up tonight. What happened? The biochar running low, or what? What's happening? What's happening tonight? You're all charged up on
Get
this
in an
topic.
argument with a Jew?
All my life.
There are no Jews in Olympia, Washington, are there?
That's a huge misconception.
Yeah, it might be. I wouldn't be
part.
surprised if the mayor were a Jew.
Okay.
Anyway, Jenna's in Chicago trying to do some paperwork for her mother's will and all this business. So
Good for
it's
her.
not a
Oh,
pretty
she left
story.
you alone tonight. That's what's going on.
Yep, she arrived this morning in
Well,
Chicago.
I read. Hey,
Okay,
I
well,
rely a lot.
It's probably snowing
We
there
got to
'cause we're
plan
getting
an
the snow
hour
now.
with Jenna because Jenna
Yeah.
is one of the original tree huggers. She's one of these people that
Yeah, I like Jenna.
Brian, isn't it true that Jenna climbed the ancient redwoods in the Northwest and chained herself to trees along with the original Earth First people?
Oregon.
Huh?
9 months in Oregon. She didn't have anything to do. She was serving coffee at a coffee shop in Oregon, and somebody mentioned it, and off she went for 9 months.
So I want Jenna on to give us the history, the real history of the environmental, the Earth First movement. And Dave Foreman, who abandoned the Earth First movement because he said the CIA took it over, But yeah, I would really like to, because she's old enough. She was there, and she can really give us an insight into the psychology of the whole green thing.
She was scratching her head saying, boy, where did all this brand new climbing equipment come from? And then she meets me and I'm, it's a friggin' psyop, Jenna. This is all staged for the desire.
If you got to climb up into these trees and chain yourself to live up there, I don't know. I would ask her about tree spiking as well, because that we're told that went on. But people were desperate to save these ancient old growth forests because once they're gone forever.
Okay, well,
so I understand the motivation for that. I really do. And
when I showed Jenna the wiki on Earth First, it says right in it, based on communitarian values. So that it's been very helpful for Jenna to say, oh, this is an important C word, isn't it? But I want Lynn to finish out her show, and we'll take this up another time.
Okay, Brian.
Right.
Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it.
My regards to
Always,
Jenna.
always.
Back at you both, and I will. Over
All right, take care. There goes biochar Brian from Olympia, Washington. He's in the theme song intro for Lynn Ertell, as you know.
So
right, Lynn?
I know people don't have.
You guys are linked forever.
People don't have a very high opinion of Jimmy Dore. who's
No,
does
not
a
me.
stand-up comedy routine, but he reflects a certain strain of opinion out there among more independent thinking leftists, and they are questioning the authenticity of all the major evidence is being stacked up against Luigi Mangione. And once again, I'm going to continue to ask the Captain Obvious question. You know, like, where was NORAD on 9/11? You know, where were the tugboats when the Dolly crashed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge and took it down? And I'm going to ask, how the hell does a class valedictorian walk around 5 days later with all the evidence in his backpack, including the weapon, just so that the FBI can conduct a warrantless search and bust him and claim, we've got an orgy of evidence here? That sounds like a frame-up to me. And that's what I'm calling it. I'm calling it a frame-up. Now, people are going to say, well, Luigi's an actor. He's in on it. Is that what Miles Mathis thinks?
I think so, yeah.
Well, did you go through? I haven't read Miles Mathis on the Luigi case.
This was from March. Yeah, I'd have to look it back up again. I just want, yeah, for sure he thinks it's all
But of
theater.
course, like I say, Captain Obvious. If I'm sitting on the jury and someone says, do you really think this guy was stupid enough, foolhardy enough, reckless enough not to have disposed of the weapon, the manifesto, his red book, all that stuff, you know, on the same day that he shot the guy? He's still walking around, and it just happened to be in his backpack when they busted him. You know, it's like, well, Lee Harvey Oswald just happened to be at the movie theater when they came to pick him up. You know, the whole thing is, it really, once more, it gets down to this question of, is he in on it, or was he set up?
Or is the whole thing stagecraft? You see, that's what they want you to think. They want you to think that he was
Who
set
would
up.
willingly put themselves in that position?
Well, I think your information on the Mangione family being wealthy and possibly benefiting from state largesse.
And so they're guaranteed, oh, don't worry, we're going to let Luigi play this role and nothing will happen to him.
I think so. What about Bin Laden? They offered their good name up.
You're right.
And it's still to this day being trashed, but are they still getting the contracts?
Yeah. Well, here's what I'll say about that.
That's the alternate. That's the third
if
view.
Luigi is an actor, if he's a crisis actor and he's in on it, then that means his family's got to be in on it too.
Yes. That's the whole point. But that's never discussed, you see. That's the part that's never discussed. But we discuss it.
Here's somebody saying, why are we analyzing psyops? It doesn't matter.
Because that's what we do.
No, I want who was this?
A sudden case of red pilling.
Hey, guess what, red pilling? We're called fakeologists.com, and it says on the front page of our site, deconstructing media fakery one psyop at a time. That's why we are analyzing psyops. If you came here and you're disappointed that we do exactly what we say we do, maybe you should go somewhere else. Because that's a stupid question to ask. Why? You want to know why? I'll tell you why.
Because we love it.
We care a lot. If you want to know why, on the way out, we'll play that song by Faith No More. It's a dirty job, but someone's got to do it. And we care a lot. That's why we do it. So that's a stupid question you're asking.
What's the name of the song?
Oh, I love that. Cue that up. Faith No More. We care a lot.
Oh, Faith. I'll look it up.
Oh, that's a classic. Yeah, from the 90s. Yeah.
No More. I probably like that. I probably didn't know
it's
the
a
title.
great song. It's some of their best. Yeah.
Faith No More. We care a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so the question in these show trials is this.
Yeah.
Is the suspect a defendant, like OJ?
Yeah.
Are they in on it? And if they're in on it,
yes.
What a price to pay.
Do you think Bill Cosby was in on it? I think yes.
Well,
I think it is the price to pay. Yes.
Then they're being blackmailed and manipulated for other reasons.
I'm
somehow.
telling you, it's the role of the century. OJ played the role of
where you lose all your friends, where all your friends turn around and hate your guts.
I
Where
don't
people are-
think. I think he was still hanging out with his friends. He was still golfing. I think he was he was the most famous person in the world for a couple of years.
And he didn't mind that even.
No, come on. He's playing a role. And the fact that no one knew he was playing a role makes it even better. It's awesome. I think it's amazing, actually. If you had the chance to play the role, be the most famous person in the world for 2
Of
years.
somebody a murderer of a murderer?
Yes, because it's all fake. I think it's a very amazing role if you think about it. Because everyone is fooled to the day you die.
Well, who the hell wants to play that role?
An actor.
For the whole rest of your life?
Yes, he's a lifetime actor. You're an actor for
A
life.
lifetime actor who millions of people think is a cold-blooded murderer.
I know, but did he get
that's
treated
wonderful.
he was treated as a celebrity. He was treated as a celebrity.
No,
I think
these
he had
people
he was
people are
treated
being
as
blackmailed somehow. They're being blackmailed. They've been busted for other reasons.
Okay.
They may have had OJ on all kinds of drug charges. We know that FAK1178-Lynn was picking up cocaine all the time for him. Who knows what they had on him? Who knows if they were threatening his son? OJ's son got in a lot of trouble. There are other motives. I refuse to believe that these people are that every one of them is willingly playing this role. And if Luigi Mangione says, hey, I've been framed, well, I think we have to give some credibility to that, because it's obvious that would be the motive.
Okay, hold on. We were going to get this caller. John, do you want to hear your song?
Yes, I do.
You called just at the end of the show, so we'll play it. It's done by Portal Complex. He contacted me right at the end of yesterday's show. I was just wrapping things up, and he sent it to me. So here you go. Courtesy of Portal Complex.
Well, I thank Portal Complex.
Let's see if it's going to come through. Let me just set up the audio first, audio device, because God forbid it be set up properly. Audio device. Hold on a sec. I got to find it here. It's not showing up as the audio device. You can keep talking, Lynn, while I'm...
Well, I'm willing to gamble. I'm willing to gamble on the likelihood that many of the Sandy Hook actors had already been arrested for previous crimes, in many cases really nasty ones like pedophilia, and in fact were blackmailed into playing. A lot of crisis actors, I think, are being forced to play these. They're being compelled and pressured to play these roles in the same way that confidential informants who operate undercover and wear a wire are forced to do it for other reasons. They're being blackmailed. I think that's what's going on here. I think it's another case of United States, one nation under blackmail, United States of RICO. I think that's what's happening. But that's just one explanation of it. Now, if that means I'm disqualified as a fakeologist because I say, well, the event has been staged, it's fake, but the various different actors involved have different motives than what you think.
Hold on, here it is.
Down by the St. Lawrence, where the cold winds play, lived John the beggar with a mind that sways. He connects the dots in a curious maze. Oh John, the beggar of the bay, reading the script while the world's on display. With fakeologists, they light up the grave.
John the Beggar on the call. What'd you think, John?
I like it. I really like it. It's really nice.
Not everyone gets a song. That's for sure.
No, not everyone gets a song. I don't think that disqualifies Lynn as a fakeologist, but I disagree with her. There could be a few people, but I think most of it is just voluntary and they get paid, because a lot of those Sandy Hook people got houses and stuff like that. And I have no doubt they were paid off handsomely. And
I noted in the case of Sandy Hook that the Catholic Church is involved, because the A lot of the footage.
Oh yeah,
from
that
the-
other place.
yeah,
Yeah.
St. Rose of Lima School, and that the LDS, the Mormons, they've jumped in with both feet first to back up Robbie Parker, who claims he was forced to move back out to Utah as blowback because he'd been accused of being a crisis actor for the Sandy Hook event. So I'm indicting
Mormon church.
Yeah, I'm indicting. I'm
corrupt
saying the
Catholic
Mormons
church.
are really, the Mormons are corrupt. Mormons are really, really dirty.
Okay, hold on a sec, Lynn. This is where the bot is useful. I asked the bot, did any actor ever say they were always acting? Answer, yes. Several actors have said something very close to I'm always acting, or that they never fully turn it off. Here are the most notable examples. Daniel Day-Lewis, the most extreme and famous case. He has repeatedly implied that the line between himself and his roles is blurry, even offset. In a rare 2012 interview with Time Out, when asked if he ever stops acting, he replied, "No, I don't think there's a clear line between me and the character when I'm working. And when I'm not working, I don't know who I am either." He also said he doesn't know how to be himself because he spent so much of his life becoming other people.
Right, that's somebody who's a perfect tool for the production of propaganda because
Right.
they don't care whether it's
Yes. Joaquin Phoenix said, "I don't know where I begin and the character ends. I'm always acting even when I'm being interviewed." Marlon Brando, acting is surviving. We're all acting all the time. The only difference is I get paid for it. Nicolas Cage, I don't believe in turning it off. I'm always in some state of performance. Shia LaBeouf, I don't think I've ever stopped acting. I don't know what being myself even means anymore. So obviously he copied the other guy. Now I said, what about OJ? Did he ever make remarks to that effect? And he said, after his 2008 armed robbery conviction and during his years in prison, OJ did make one remark that some people interpreted that way. In a 2016 interview conducted for the documentary OJ Made in America. Yeah, perfect, by the way. When asked about his public persona in the trial, he said, "I live my whole life in front of cameras. I've been performing since I was 18 years old. Everything is a performance." Thank you, OJ. That makes my point perfectly.
And I still think he's alive and out golfing on the course periodically. Of course, he's 80, so he probably takes a lot of naps.
Yeah, he could be, but he maybe got tired of being on the world stage. Yeah, but I think does that not summarize sort of what I'm saying?
Yeah, they don't really stop acting, and what Lynn said is possible too. Some of these people could have gotten blackmailed for something.
Okay,
and
yeah,
you know, that could also be the case, but I don't think it is with the overwhelming majority. I think Bill Cosby wanted to retire. He's getting to be an old man.
What about Charlie Kirk? Was Charlie Kirk voluntarily? Because we know was Charlie Kirk a volunteer, or did they say, "Hey, it's time for us to you've run out"?
Oh, that is a good question. That is a good question.
Could be possible, but he's going to get a big payoff. I can't believe they don't drop 10 million bills on him at least.
There better be an incentive to participate in something like this, where essentially you're going to have plastic surgery. You're going to have to go somewhere, and it's not so easy.
Yeah, I agree, but
it would be minor plastic.
Yeah,
surgery.
He's not such a unique looking person. He's odd looking, but there's lots of odd looking.
What about
people.
Kobe Bryant? Would he be 6?
I know he's
7
tall.
foot tall, and
I think John the Beggar talked about that, didn't he?
Yeah, but I still think he can start growing his hair again, grow a beard, wear glasses, all sorts of stuff, and he can go anywhere he wants.
Yeah, they say the people who have claimed that Tupac Shakur faked his death, and in fact, we had a policeman, a retired New York City detective, who, in his will, he documents allegedly how he was paid a certain amount of money by Tupac Shakur to help Shakur fake his death. Then, of course, people have been looking around to see, well, did he start a new career? And they pointed to the music, if you want to call it music, to the hip hop produced by this guy called Akil the MC, who they say physically resembles an aging Tupac Shakur and sounds exactly like him. So, yeah, people are always, this goes all the way back to Andy Kaufman, and the REM song, If You Believe They Put a Man on the Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened, I think, was that
REM was telling you that it was fake too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Music people, they're controlled too, so they're leaving it out little by
Like the
little.
Beatles and Paul McCartney and all that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're not supposed to believe a musician or an
Right.
actor, so that's why they let them leak out the message because it's just a ha ha ha. That's
Right.
funny. You're just a musician. You're not telling the truth.
But of course, if you'll show the screen I'm sharing right here.
Okay, and we'll wrap it up after this. We got to wrap it up. What do we got here? Oh yeah,
This is the alleged case of that National Guardsman who was supposedly shot in D.C.
in the face
by a former an Afghani who worked for this. They've got an elaborate narrative for this guy, how he's recruited in Afghanistan, how he was a part of a child army that the CIA recruited. And look at the way they set this up. That guy there wearing the uniform, he could be an actor. I don't know, but I say
hey, yeah, now you're talking.
But you know
Lynn.
what?
Now
I say no. I say they're using real military officers to commit this treason and this brainwashing. And
well, do you think they see it as treason
part of
though?
Military intelligence.
Do they see it?
I don't
as
think
treason?
they care. I think they're prostituted. Look at, and this is the alleged National Guardsman, guardswoman, whatever, who died.
Yeah.
America. I mean, look, it could be a completely fabricated digital AI generated.
Yes. Is this person real?
But what makes people believe it? What makes them believe it is that guy standing there in the uniform.
Yeah, that helps.
They've been programmed. And like when I was a kid, I know my mother was insistent that I believe in the moon landing. And I remember too, a neighbor kid, he started to talk about Paul was replaced. He got into trouble. I got into trouble with my mother, and my mother showed me all the Beatles and said, now look, those are the same people when they're walking across that road in that one album color.
Yeah,
and
Abbey Road has Paul McCartney barefoot, and they say that was what we were told.
I looked at every one of them.
I lived through.
Yeah, I looked at every one of them, and I said, they're not the same people. None of them were the same. Not a one.
Okay, let's play a game. Which of these two is real?
Well, how would you know?
John, you can't see the screen.
They both could be fake. Who knows?
I'll take a guess.
So I click on this left one. Okay, he's supposed to be the real one. I mean, there's no way to tell. I mean, they could both be fake. Which one of these two is real? This is a good game. Whichfacesreal.com. How about this guy? How about her? No, this guy with the acne. He's real. So there you go. Isn't it fun? Fun game?
I'm waiting for when they start having shootings somewhere, and they're going to start taking pictures that people have posted off Facebook, and that I'm going to see myself there as a little kid as one of the victims.
Like that
That would blow
like
my
one
mind.
of the Sandy Hook kids, Noah Posner, who showed up.
Yeah.
He showed up in a picture of a child in Pakistan who allegedly was the victim of a shooting.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting for them to take something off that some relative of mine has posted on Facebook of me when I was a little kid, and they'll colorize it and do some other things. And this poor little kid died, and I'll be, that's me. He's an old man today.
All right, John. Thanks for calling in. We got to wrap it up because we're a little over time. 1 hour and 8 minutes. Thanks a lot.
Good night, Lynn.
And thanks to Portal Complex.
And if you could play that Faith No More song on the way out, I would have. To answer the question, why do we do
Absolutely, Lynn. This is a full service talk show here. Thank you so much for joining in. Thanks everyone for joining in. It was a good show. Very interesting.
Look at that fruit salad. Let's see that fruit salad. Yeah. Everybody wave their flag.
Oh, you're talking about the general
you got to bring out a cup.
The
So
fruit
we all
salad,
have to suck up. Man, all you're hearing is, law enforcement. We got to worship law enforcement. We got to worship the military. Well, they're all a bunch of actors, in my view. And liars. And liars. Major liars.
Well, if there was an enemy for the military to fight, it might be a different story. But who are we? Who are
The
they
American
fighting?
people. Well, the
Yeah,
American people
yeah,
are
I'm with
their
you on
enemy,
that.
and believe me, that's how they're trained. They're trained. Look, it's no accident that every police department in the country sends recruits to train in Israel, and they learn the same methods that the Israelis use on the West Bank to control the Palestinian population there. And when they come back here, and a lot of Israelis come here to train our police. So yeah, they're traitors. They're all traitors.
All right, here we go. Faith No More. It's called We Care a Lot because we're fakeologists. And thanks, Lynn. She's on fakeologistforums.com.
Turn it up.
Her email's Lynn, LYNN @fakeologist.com.
Write me. I will respond.
She will respond. She does. She likes her email.
We care. One, because it's a dirty job, but someone's got to do it because we care a lot.
All right, we'll play it out. Have a good one. Fakeologist.com/donate. Help make this show go on.